Hello Manon, thank you for being here.
Hi Vittoria. So the two that you can see behind me are monochrome yellow and monochrome blue. These two are very recent works that I completed in a residency that I finished called Glorgauer, excuse the pronunciation, based in Berlin. And these are my first works in a very long time that are canvas and not silicon. And it's a draped canvas painted both sides. And I showed these at an open studios, and I think here, the reception has been pretty good in terms of it being such a different work than my usual silicon pieces. And I've really enjoyed making them, and it's that sense of folding, unlike my normal classical pieces, folding that comes out a little bit more into the space downwards, so it's really playing with gravity a lot more than my silicon works. So the two works that are selected in the show are Cover Your Eyes. They're from the same series. We've got Cover Your Eyes 2 and 3, I believe. And they're, kind of semi-transparent silicon works, and those are more of my classical. And what I mean classical is the technique of draping that I've been using for a good 2 years now. And it's draping much more like fabric than the works behind me, where these is it's a very different action. My body is, the process is different, and the silicon works is it's, I think, a little bit more sensual, and I think it attracts the eye in a different way because you have a sheen to the surface and it's not quite what it seems. And I think that's what is really interesting, with the title of Can You See Me? It's that sense of, are you looking correctly? Am I deceiving, your sight? Let me grab onto your gaze and, hold it on. And I think that's what my works also do, is that sense of grabbing your attention and kind of bringing you into the surface to confuse you a little bit, push you back and forth, and make you aware of your looking and the act of looking. And I think that's what's really interesting. I would say that my works are quite playful. It's that sense of enticing the viewer. I want you to be curious, and no matter what age that you are. And I think that's one of the great pleasures in art, is viewing it and becoming curious. And again, that awareness in viewing that I find really interesting. And I think with the works behind, I chose a matte color, so you're much more focused on the form than, and the shapes that are coming from, because it's very minimalistic. And then just the color. So I think with the silicon works, it's a little bit more, is it a painting? Is it a sculpture? And that sense of, depth that is played with the transparency as well. It's kind of almost pushing you through the work onto the back, which is something that you don't get to see often in painting, because I do call them paintings. These, I think I'd classify them a little bit more structural and sculptural. But it's a sense of pushing you to see from different angles, and that's what I love in some of the works that I make, is it really pushes you to a different viewpoint, not only perception, but also just to actually use your body like I did in the process. Your process of viewing is being pushed around the work and finding little new viewing points that you didn't see before when you first come into the room.